it's a window of accessibility into like an intersection, a point of intersection between two worlds that a lot of people don't see a lot about. It's the world of law and the justice system, and the media, and how sometimes they dovetail and influence one another, and sometimes, you know, as a result, sometimes news gets created, you know, or at least opportunities get exploited. For instance, my character plays, I played Jake Gregorian, based on Mark Garagos in real life, Scott Peterson's defense attorney, and there are times when he needs to get the soundbite for his client out, you know, into the court of public opinion first, and if it has a high-powered friend who happens to run, you know, an amazing TV show like Louise Herrick Live, you know, sometimes you can have those kind of favors done for you. It's the kind of relationship where we need each other professionally. We have like a flirtatious, you know, witty repartee, banter back and forth, and there is, I think there might be a very low-level kind of sexual tension between them, but it's the kind of situation where you don't want to risk ruining what you've got as friends and professionally, that thing that is mutually beneficial, where one hand washes the other, for the sake of a romance that may or may not work out. If things go south, chances that, you know, you're going to be doing each other favors anymore are slim to none. So we keep it professional. They genuinely try to help each other out, but when it comes down to it, if their interests are at odds, they are going to go with their own interests. When it comes down to Jake, if it's him, his client, his reputation as a lawyer, he's gonna do what he has to do to hold himself down. And Julia George will do exactly the same thing if it comes down to her show. Tremendous amount of talent, leadership skills. She's a natural leader here on set. This is the more difficult stage to work on. This is stage 12, everybody. Next door is stage 11. That's where we have the law offices recreated. And what it takes to act, first of all, at a high level, while having to know she's in the control room, both in real life as she's shooting, but also in the imaginary world of Notorious. And she has to know when simultaneous conversations are going on, late breaking news. She's got to, you know, holding telephone conversations while she's watching what's happening on monitors and, you know, behind me. So I joke that she's the Tom Brady of, you know, of stage 12, because she basically quarterbacks this entire thing and knows more about it than anybody. The way that the story jumped off the page in terms of, in its totality, the way that it was written on a whole, the way the story moves forward, that there's no superfluous scenes, that every word in the pilot script seemed to move the story forward. And it wasn't just all expositional. A lot of pilots are kind of not all that fun to watch, because they're trying to see, you know, this is the world in which, you know, you will be immersed now every hour at this day, at this time, you know, hopefully for the next 7 seasons. It didn't feel like that when I read Notorious, and I read a lot of pilot scripts this past pilot season. It was just the only one that really kind of grabbed me, caught my attention, and at that point I had no idea whether or not I'd be working with Piper, but I knew about Josh Berman and knew about ABC, and there was really no downside, so I was pretty much going to take the job as soon as I read it. I didn't tell them that till after we closed negotiation. Audiences are going to get a very sexy-looking show on an amazing network that is hopefully extremely well acted by a very strong cast, directed by a great stable of producers, and is not only entertaining but at times a little thought-provoking. And you know, it's good to walk away wondering certain things, you know, thinking, "Damn, I can't wait till next week."